A young woman is found dead on a beach, her phone and shoes neatly placed away from her body. The police say it was an accident. No further investigation, no answers. But her mother, she doesn't believe it, and after hearing the story, neither will you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious and tragic case of Blessing Olusegun, an unsolved death that was quickly dismissed by police and barely mentioned in the media. Despite her family's calls for justice, Blessing's case remains shrouded in silence, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll talk about the lack of attention her case received, the systemic issues at play, and something that often gets overlooked, the nuanced conversation around mental health. Because while Blessing had struggled, her mother strongly believes she would never have willingly harmed herself. Let's get started. In August 2021, Blessing Olusegun, a young, healthy woman, went missing. Days later, her body was found in a river, and Sussex police quickly ruled her death unexplained but not suspicious. They said it was likely a drowning, no foul play nor further investigation. Just like that, her case was closed. But here's the thing, Blessing's mother never accepted this explanation because she knew her daughter. She knew Blessing would never willingly go near the water, let alone take her own life that way.
I still believe there is no way of knowing whether someone was on the beach that night with Blessing, and the coroner and the police agreed this today. But I do accept this conclusion, as I know my Blessing would never have entered the water in order to harm herself.
Despite their efforts to get answers, the authorities dismissed these concerns. But why? Why was this case so quickly shut down? And why didn't it get the attention it deserved? To understand Blessing's story fully, we need to acknowledge something important. She did struggle with her mental health. According to reports, Blessing had self-harmed before. She had even told her mother about an incident where she had nearly cut herself, but assured her she was fine. She had also previously taken a paracetamol overdose in 2016. But here's what's crucial. She was fighting. She was still pushing forward with life. She had travelled to Bexhill for a work placement, trying to build a future for herself. She wasn't someone who had given up. And this is where the problem with police investigation comes in. Because when a person has a history of mental health struggles, authorities are often too quick to assume suicide and fail to properly investigate. But here's what we have to ask. Did Blessing really go into the water on her own? Or did the police take the easy route, ignoring key details and evidence? Fast forward a year, and we see the stark contrast between Blessing's case and the tragic murder of Sarah Everard. Sarah's case sparked national outrage, protest, and widespread media coverage. But for Blessing, there was barely a whisper. We can't ignore the impact of race and gender in these disparities. While Sarah's case was treated with urgency, Blessing's death was overlooked. This isn't just about one case. It's part of a much larger pattern of systemic racism and gender inequality in the way missing persons and murder cases are handled. A report by the Black and Missing Foundation found that missing people of colour, particularly black women, receive significantly less media coverage than their white counterparts. And this doesn't just affect visibility, it affects justice. When stories like Blessing's aren't given the same attention, it's easier for cases to go unsolved and for families to be left without closure. Blessing's mother, Esther Abbey, has never accepted the idea that her daughter's death was an accident. She believes something happened to Blessing that night. And here is where it gets even more concerning. Blessing's shoes and phone were found neatly placed away from where her body was discovered. If she had walked into the water herself, why would she leave them behind so neatly? And if she didn't go in by herself, what really happened that night? These are the questions that police should have asked, but instead they shut the case down with no real answers. Let's break down why Blessing's case might have been so easily dismissed. For one, the lack of urgency from the police. They quickly ruled it an accident, despite the suspicious circumstances. 2. The role of the media. Without major coverage, there was no public pressure to investigate further. And 3. The pattern of ignoring black women's cases. Time and time again, we see black women's death not taken as seriously. Without public outcry, authorities don't prioritize cases like these the way they do for others. It's time for a change. We need to demand that cases like Blessing's are taken seriously. We need to fight against these disparities and hold both the media and authorities accountable. Blessing's story is one of many that highlights systemic issues in how black women's cases are handled. And that's why we need to keep talking about her, keep sharing her story, and keep demanding justice. Thank you for watching. If you believe stories like Blessing's deserve more attention, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content as we continue to explore the cases that need to be heard and the stories that must be told. Until next time, let's keep raising our voices for justice.